Welcome to the laws of cooking on Shabbat. This will be part 12 of the class. Today's discussion is going to be water cooled on Shabbat. Are you allowed to go ahead and benefit from it or not? The scenario is like this. What we have in front of us is an electric urn. Right on the bottom to your right corner, this is where you turn on the urn. This is going to be the scenario. On Erev Shabbat, you tell your child or one of your children, go fill up the urn with cold water. Now, automatically you assume that the child knows to go ahead and turn on the urn at the same time. But we know, unfortunately, today's children, Rabotai, you got to tell them exactly what needs to be done. Otherwise, they're not going to put one and one together. Okay, so this mother didn't tell the child to turn it on. Now it came Friday night. Shabbat kicked in. Everybody's sitting on the Shabbos table, and the father asks for tea. So the mother goes to the urn, and she realizes that the urn is not on. Now what is she going to do? If Chas v'Shalom, if her husband is an abusive husband, we have a very big problem. Chazal tell us that a father or a husband, they should never be particular, they should never be strict in the house, because of them, a wife or the children, they can do a lot of isurim from the Torah. Nevertheless, this wife realizes that the urn is not on. So what did she do? She went ahead and she turned it on. And she tells the husband, just give me about an hour, we're going to have your tea for now, have your food. Okay? An hour passes, she brings the tea over. Then the son says, Mom, how did you get hot water? It's like, what do you mean how hot? From the urn when you filled it up before Shabbat. He says, yeah, I filled it up, but I never turned it on. So now the father's thinking, what do you mean you didn't turn it on? So who turned it on? So then eventually the mother confesses and she says, I turned it on. The question is going to be, everybody agrees what she did was 100% wrong. Everybody's going to agree that to have such a husband or such a father or such people that are very particular about their teas and they put trauma in the house is also wrong. That shouldn't also have happened. But let's say this is the situation. The halakha we want to discuss, what is going to be the halakha in regarding to drinking this hot water when it's hot, and also drinking this hot water after it cooled down. Now, if you have a filter system in your house, or if you have bottled water in your house, it's one thing. But what happens if all you have in your house is sink water? Now, this hot water boiled. Now it's much better than the sink water. Can you drink it at least when it's cold? So we want to see these 2 points today. We want to see, can you drink the water when it's hot? And can you drink the water once it cooled down on Shabbat? So Rav Dav Yosef Shutai is going to speak about it, and he brings down as a heading, if you had water which was cooked on Shabbat and they cooled down, what is going to be the halakha? So he begins, if you had water which was cooked on Shabbat, even if it was an accident, it was not done intentional. Usually when it's a shogeg, we can be more lenient here and there. But it tells you no. If water was cooked on Shabbat, even by accident, asur l'shtotam b'Shabbat kishem chamim. Number one, this is what we want to see first. It's going to be forbidden for one to drink this water when they are hot. That for sure is not allowed. What about when it cools down? So Rav Dav Yosef Shlita, I'm not going to go into all his reasoning right now. He says, he doesn't say it's forbidden to drink it when it's cold, but he does mention, and he says, V'nachon lehachmir bazeh, and it is correct to be stringent in this, afilu acher shenistanenu, even after they cool down. So Rabotai, we do see over here 2 points. Point number one, we do see that if it's hot, Rav David Yosef Shilta tells us that it is forbidden for one to drink. But if it cooled down, He's going to tell you it's correct for one to be strict. Now, is it forbidden for one to drink it? No. What he's telling you is it's correct for one to be strict and not drink the cold water. Continues Rav David, and he says, even if this water that you boiled now, they were fit to drink, even without you cooking it. For example, let's say you used filter water from the beginning. When you told your son to go ahead and pour cold water on Erev Shabbat into the urn, he didn't use sink water. He used real filter water, which was drinkable even without the cooking. Nevertheless, Rav David Yosef is going to tell you, you should not, it's proper to be stringent and not to go ahead and drink from these waters even after they cool down. And how much more so if these waters that the son poured into the urn were sink water, how much more so we're going to tell you that you should not go ahead and drink it on Shabbat. So let's just see this one more time, and then we'll do a small review. So Rav David Yosef Shlita in the Sefer Halacha Birura begins, and he says, Maim shenitbelu b'Shabbat, if you have the water which was cooked on Shabbat, afilu b'shogeg, even if it was an accident, the person forgot today was Shabbat, or the person knew it was Shabbat, but he didn't know by me turning on these buttons over here, maybe the mother thought it's okay. She thought fire is not allowed to be, but what am I doing? I'm only pressing the button. There's no real malacha. So even if it was an accident where either she didn't know it was Shabbat, or either she knew it was Shabbat but she didn't know the act, what she was doing was forbidden, nevertheless we're going to tell you, Asur l'shotam b'Shabbat kishem chamim. You're not allowed to drink it when they are hot. V'nachon lahachmir b'zeh afilu acher shenistananu. And it is correct for one to be stringent with this even after the water cooled down. V'hainu, which means to say, afilu kishayu ro'im l'shtotam belo bishul. Even if the water was fit to drink without first cooking it, how much more so how much more so one should be stringent if the water was not drinkable without first cooking it. Okay, Rabotai, a small review. If water was cooked on Shabbat, even by mistake, you cannot drink it hot on Shabbat. Even if later it cools down, it's best not to drink it at all until Shabbat is over. Right? So again, we see over here, Rabotai, is best. Now, some of you might think, Rabbi, what is the difference between being machmir, being lenient, if it's really mutar, why be stringent? So Rabotai, whenever the Chachamim use these kind of languages, right, be stringent, be lenient, yes, Rabotai, yes, if I'm telling you to be stringent, I'm telling you that really in a way, I don't want you to do it, because there are opinions that hold that it is forbidden. Other opinions say it's permissible. Or when the Chachamim learn the language of you're allowed to be lenient, yeah, you're allowed to be lenient, but not necessarily that it should be done, because there are other opinions that say it's not allowed to be done. Again, everybody should always consult the rabbi, but whenever you see these languages, nachon lahachmir, it's correct for one to be stringent, yeah, it might not be asur, but Rav David Yosef is telling you what one should do. It's correct for one to be stringent. He's leading you on what has to be done. So that's what he tells us over here. Even if later it cools down, it's best to not drink it at all until Shabbat is over. This is true even if the water was already drinkable before cooking. And all the more so if it wasn't drinkable before. Bottom line, we see over here that if a person went ahead and he poured cold water into the urn on Erev Shabbat and he did not turn it on, and somebody on Shabbat went back and turned on the urn even by accident, and the water heated up, when the water is hot, we're going to tell you it's asur to drink it. When the water is cool, we're going to tell you it's correct to be stringent, not to drink the cold water. Have a great day. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen ve'amen.